And after a 2-month hiatus, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for another Power Book 2 Ghost recap review show here from your good folks at Big Gold Belt Media. I'm Najir. That's my guy, Lucas. We're here to do what we do, and we do it damn good. Lucas, how you doing today?
Man, better than Diana. Because, wow, that was fucked up.
That was an intense ending of an episode. And I want to go on the record and say, I think this may be the most brutal ending of any episode ever.
For Power?
Yeah.
Didn't Lakeisha die at the end of an episode of Power?
Yeah, sure. But that's just a death. This is, like, again, brutal. Like, the nature of it, the ramifications of it. Lakeisha died. No one cared. Cash didn't even care. Is Cash even still out there? Who knows?
Raina died at the end of the episode. This is not the most brutal episode.
Who is that? Who is that? We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're very excited. We've been waiting too long. So much has happened in the time, too. We just came off the Power Choice Awards where we were nowhere to be found in that. And I just want to make the record for the folks that did reach out wondering. Those were for the great creatives out there where we do acknowledge and appreciate the folks within the community and what they do. Kudos to the folks that got nominated.
Wait. What did the what awards?
The Power Choice Awards.
There was something called the Power Choice Awards?
There was, sir. What? Come on now. But no, again, shout out to everybody that
be a real award show if I didn't get a nomination. I'm sorry. I feel like Drake at the Grammys. He's doing these for Choice Award nominations.
Yeah, shout out to all the folks that got nominated for that. Much love to everybody. And much love to the cast and crew from all of the different Power shows for the awards that they won as well too. And I will say for us, because for the folks that had commentary about us not being named, again, I think that's for the creative. I think we are more or less in the journalist side of things. So understanding the critic and journalist side of the world of all of entertainment, we don't really get those type of things. We just kind of do the work and let the work speak for itself. And that's where I'd rather be. I don't want the popularity, never did. We just like coming here, engaging with you all, having fun, breaking these episodes down. And we come right out the gate with the heat because we got an interview right now available on the channel with Michael Rainey Jr. and I don't know, Latoya, I forget Latoya's last name, but both the mommy and the daddy, the pappy of baby St. Patrick, or question mark, because at the end of this episode, who knows? Sad thing. But yeah, we get to some questions that you all have been wanting to, I'm sure you all have been wanting to know with this episode. So definitely check that out there. And we'll keep coming back with the heat each and every week with more interviews and more recaps and all that good stuff. So hopefully you all have been well. Hopefully you all have been having a good time in this 2-month hiatus, and it's time to get into it now. Episode 406, Devil's Playground, where this episode is written by Stacey Matthew and directed by Sharon Lewis. Sir, let's start off at the top of the episode here. And at the top of the episode, we see Drew with his camera, and it looks like he's out here scouting, but yet stalking Carter. And it looks like this is an order from Monet, and Carter's just doing what he does. He's just roughing up some corner boys, but at the end of the day, their whole goal is to try to get something on him that they can use, because Monet is not happy about being under his thumb right now. What did you think about the opening?
That Drew has had a rough last 2 months. My man ain't had a shape up. My man out this Joan just taking pictures. Like he's had it rough over these last 2 months. Yeah. Ever since he got back with Monet, it's like, hey, it's right back to business all over again. And being under Carter's thumb again. It's a good way to start off, because it reintroduces that Carter controls them. And Monet is going to try to do whatever she has to do, including putting her son in mortal danger, to make sure that she's not under Carter's thumb. Because this was not a smart idea or plan to follow a cop around to take pictures, like he would notice.
Yeah. And Carter doing his best Ronnie, hitting him with the text message and appearing behind him. So, I think it just shows you that Carter has eyes in the back of his head, even though he's out here, which obviously we find out later what he's up to. But if it ain't him shaking people down for his cut, he's looking for who is the distro. He needs to get to the top of things. He needs to make sure that he's controlling the streets in the way that he does. I mean, this goes back to the end of last episode from the first part, is that we had to understand what his motives was, how he's controlling the streets, and we're seeing a dirty cop in the light that we haven't seen in the way before. So continuing his narrative and his arc. Monet and Diana. Now, if there's one thing that they do, they damn sure love to shop. So this is a happy time for them because now they get to shop for Monet's grandchild, which Monet feels it's a girl. Diana was very adamant that she felt it was a boy. I did ask Latoya about that, so I'm not even going to answer it. But it's a simple answer. I'll just say it. Woman's intuition is why she leaned towards it being a boy, because I thought that was
Wait. You can't say women's intuition when there's two women in this scene and they said completely opposite things here. It's not women's intuition.
Did she say woman's intuition? Did she say like mother's intuition? Maybe one or the other. Either way.
I'm going with Monet because clearly this is Monet's child. Because once it's born, Diana doesn't exist anymore. So Monet knows best here. It is a girl.
What did you think about the two of them bonding here?
It's about time they've shown Monet show at least some form of affection towards Diana. Like that's all this was here. This was that moment where you're like, man, we done went through years of Monet just disrespecting Diana at every turn. But here, again, it's something they can bond over. And it's the commonality that they need to bond over something, because clearly just on their own, there's not much of a connection there.
Yeah.
But here, this new baby coming in the way, it's like, Monet's a mom. Monet remembers her first child. So she's, I don't know which one it is at this point. I'm highly confused. But one of them boys was her first child. So she remembers it. And then it's the same thing with Diana here. Diana's looking forward to it. Diana's looking towards a life of something different. And it kind of feels like Monet wants to give that to her, but also knows there's no way I can give that to you.
Yeah. Kane is the oldest, just to throw that out there.
I gave up a long time ago of trying to figure out which one of them was the oldest. Was it Kane? And I don't forgot the boy name. There you go,
Zeke.
Like I forgot which one, because
you rusty.
Everybody forgot which one.
See, this why you ain't get nominated for anything. They had a PhD one.
Look,
you aren't going to win not being sharp with your
knowledge. I am not a content creator. I am sorry. The moment whenever you see me get out of bed, put a camera up, then get out of bed again to talk about Howard. Like that, that don't work for me.
I was like, where are you going at with this? This scene is hilarious though with Diana and Monet, because in true Monet fashion, she's going to say what she wants and feels at all times. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of validity to her saying she was going to change Kane's room to the baby's room. And she's not joking. That was just not something to make Diana feel good at the moment. She's like, nah, I'm very much about to do so. That's the baby's new room. And I mean, like, I agree. Like, her focus becomes the grandchild now. And I think for the relationship that she struggled to have with her kids, and obviously with a lot of deceit around it, this gives her a moment to do something pure, do something genuine, remove the business away from it. She's looking for a fresh start. So I can't be mad at that. But I want to ask you, and I didn't get a chance to ask Latoya this, is what do you think her and why they shot her holding the globe means, or what did it signify? Because obviously for what it means here, there's some effect to what happens to it later on. So what do you make of her holding the globe at the time?
When I first saw it, I said, okay, maybe the connection has to do with encompassing your own world. like that's the whole point of a globe normally, is that whatever the centerpiece of that globe is their whole world, like, and nothing can penetrate it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe that's a signal for Diana of saying, this is the world I want. I want a world where I don't have to deal with everything on the outside. And maybe that's what the globe signifies to her. And
Okay.
then when it was broken, that's the shattering of her new dream and her new world that she wants to, because the old world actually did break in and get to her. So I think that is possibly the significance of the globe to her. But it's a globe. I'm just confused at first of why was that at a baby store? Like, not that she picked it up, but why was that there? Like, I've been to plenty of baby stores.
Decor.
I've never seen one in there.
Baby
Yes,
room decor,
it
I would
is.
guess.
It's decor, but no,
Yeah.
it's decor for the store. It ain't something you can normally purchase. So when she said, "Diane, it's Drew, pay for the damn globe. Let's go." Like, it's
Yeah,
right back to normal.
I would go as far as saying her holding the globe was basically kind of accepting this life of her being a mother, because this wasn't this it was a decision at a point, and obviously she made her decision last week, but I think like the realism is that it's here now. Her making that decision with Tariq, even her being in the doctor's office, which could be kind of, at the point, like there's still a lot of pressure within that space. But I think her kind of like normalizing her life a little bit in terms of like, she's going to be a mother. She's looking at the black mother inside the globe, which is something I think is really cool. I think that was like a nice little bit to throw in there, but also the relationship with her and her mother. Like, this is it. Like, she still got to go to school. She said she was even looking into like spaces for pregnant women at Stanford. Stanford is the most inclusive, diverse.
Man, what college? I've never heard of a college saying, you know what, we have dorm rooms.
Yeah.
With pregnant
Hell
mothers.
no.
So y'all can come up here and take care of your. Hey, and we even got a meal plan. What fucking meal plan are you giving back? Like Infamil?
Yeah.
Y'all got Infamil at Sandsfield? You know how much Infamil? You know how much a case of Infamil costs?
You know what's
Jesus Christ.
You know what's wild about that is it shows you that there's levels to this, because like when I was in college, if you were pregnant, that's the last time you seen somebody on campus. Ain't nobody raising no baby or even remotely pregnant on campus. You got pregnant, they were just people were just out of there.
I mean, went to school in the hood then or something, because they was out there smoking J's pregnant. Like, I remember some of you all that went to Bowie State. I'm not gonna say no names.
That sound like that sound like Phoenix. Phoenix
Nah.
University, or what's that joint?
Or Trump University?
Nah,
DeVry. Is it DeVry?
I was say, what the?
Nah, this was a proud HBCU. I remember some of them, and they was, they all of them hit the same line, man. This ain't gonna harm the baby. This is natural. This from the earth. Okay.
But yeah, at the same time, Carter called. She didn't pick up. Drew called. It's time for them to get out of there. Next we get a quick street meet with Kane, Noma, Tariq, and Brayden. Everybody's just holding their positions, and the biggest thing that's in the middle of all of this is Anya, Noma's daughter, which she still isn't aware of everything that's happening, but Tariq is not shy about his relationship with her. And that's calling Noma's bluff right in her face, letting her know, like, I hold this against you. We need to renegotiate our terms here. What did you make of the four of them coming together in the setting to kind of keep things from getting violent, even though Noma doesn't care because she would still get violent? But what did you think about everybody kind of showing their cards here?
It was a good move from Tariq and Brayden. I mean, we had to see how they were going to use the flash drive from Paz's son, who they murdered. And with that information, we had to see how, and this is a perfect way to use it, to get from under Noma's thumb. Like, hey, if something happens to us and this comes out, it destroys your entire world. And Anya is more important than Noma than anything else, but she's been hiding who she is. Not only that, it also brings back, for people who may have forgotten, that Noma killed Anya's father.
Yeah.
Like, if that comes out again, it's a good way to say, I can destroy you, while at the same time standing in front of a mother and letting her know, by the way, I'm sleeping with your daughter. Like, that took guts to even do anything of that nature to her. But again, it's because she knew she had to fall in line. So again, this is Tariq making a power move that needed to be made to help secure whatever him and Brayden has planned.
The Anya thing is going to be interesting, and it's crazy because this is the last season, and Anya is a character that just newly joined, and yet will be like the biggest piece of the board right now in terms of the negotiation on the two sides. I gotta say, I'm a little worried about how much emphasis is going to be on this because I don't want it to be a major thing, but here we are. Here we are. Next, because after that, I mean, we got Noma and Kane. Noma says she has more pressing issues because she needs to have the meeting with Wally Adams. That's her top priority. But also she needs Kane to figure out who stole her product. But Kane wants to prove that he's just not a corner boy. He wants to be a part of that meeting. He wants to show his worth, his keep, and everything like that. Kane's going to Kane. That's at the end of the day.
There you go. Yeah.
Don't think there's anything to add there. But going back to Brayden and Tariq, Tariq and Brayden are basically assessing how did they deal with this meet, but also understanding that they need to control every aspect of the game. This is how they become the apex predator. There's nothing new about that, but I will say what is significant of it is they're sticking to the script. This is the same that they said in the very beginning of the season, is that they needed to make sure that they were controlling all of the variables. If not, then Noma has the upper hand, and that's not good for business for them. Drew gets back home. Drew is pissed. Everybody is actually pissed that Monet and Diana went shopping. I thought it was hilarious how I mean, they were treating them like they owed, like the two of them owed somebody money, because every time somebody came in the house, they was just like, "Oh, y'all went shopping."
Straight like, "Oh, so you go shopping while you owe me money?" The fucking nerve of you! Where you get this money from? You still owe me $20, and you got all these bags and shit. You done bought a globe, a snow globe. I keep on just calling it.
I mean, it's one or the other. I mean, we get it. We all know what we're talking about. But yeah, he's mad about them going shopping while he's chasing Carter. And he doesn't have anything they could use. Monet makes her claim that, like, I'm never ever gonna let a cop control me one way or another. Something happened here. I forget what it was. It's a little detail. No. What happened with Diana? She just told Diana to go to the kitchen or something? I forgot.
Diana just went to the back, and then at the back door, as the cops were breaking in, one of them throws something in the door that is never addressed what that was he threw in the door.
I was about to say there was something here that was like, wait, what?
I said, wait, is that a flash grenade? I said, what is he just throwing in the door?
I mean, they really raided this house, though. Like, but you know what, though? I'm going to tell you that Carter and his task force folks, they're not trying to make this anything but fun. So this is completely on par for them to infiltrate this house like it was some type of drug bust. I mean, coming in, they're throwing things on the ground just because they can. It shows you they're reckless. It shows you their lack of their lack of self-awareness. And we already know this is going to be problematic for them. I mean, this is for the fact that they sustained this for so long. This shows you that Carter is just he's that calculated. But his stooges under him, hell nah. And I've been telling y'all since the first part that Felicia was going to be a problem, and here we are. Because if it ain't her, if it ain't Nico, all his little folks are going to be problematic for everything that he's trying to build. But nonetheless, they get in there, and to kind of sum this up, Carter is like, "Hey, Red, apparently your phone don't work. Didn't think you knew how to use it. Been calling you and whatnot, but I'm here to get my cut. But I also need to know, who stash were you stealing from?" He is trying to get to the source. Monet pleads the fifth. She doesn't have any clue. She just only knew where it was going. And that's why, I mean, and honestly, I like, Monet's whole stance to this is completely legitimate in terms of how much she knows and what she's trying to do. I think Carter recognizes that, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a tug. It's going to be a tug of war between the two of them to ensure one doesn't get the upper hand, because what Monet is trying to get from under him, but then he's also trying to ensure that he has control over the Tejadas. Even to a point that he points the gun back at Diana again, because he knows that this can actually apply additional force to Monet. So I'm going to tell you that's a little bit of oversight, because
clearly you're not a good detective.
If he had pointed that I mean, I guess because the baby, she might care a little bit more. Let this have been a couple of episodes ago.
Let this been before she found out that baby was in there. Monet Cole said, "Shoot her. I don't care." That's what made that scene so funny, because I'm like, wait a minute. One, he's pressing her out for his cut after 24 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what is with them and flipping drugs, large quantities in 24 hours, but he was very adamant. I need my money and I need it right now. But again, I think this is showing the weakness of the task force here, because while it seems like Carter is calculated, we see, and later on in this episode especially, he makes some reckless decisions that makes absolutely no sense. And this was one of them here, because you're pressing out someone who you already are attempting to start a partnership with. Because just because you let her go and you say, well, I can arrest you, that'd be great if I couldn't flip it and say, you let me go and you gave me the drugs. Then you have to explain it. Even if it will be far-fetched, you still would have to explain it. And with all the scrutiny, as they constantly bring up, that's under the task force, any impropriety like that, whether false, true, doesn't matter. If it's spoken, it's going to become a problem.
Yeah. So with the raid, again, Detective Felicia gets overzealous, breaks the globe, pushes up on Diana. I think, as we talked about it, I mean, the breaking of the globe, I think definitely, for me, might have broke something in Diana. I think there was going to be a sense of like, I mean, one, because she says like, I don't want this life. This is why I wanted to get out the game in the first place. But also, I think like there's got to be something a little bit more metaphorical in that happening. But as I said, Detective Felicia, overzealous, man. And I said it before, she was going to be a problem, and here she is. But Carter getting the text saying that Zay Green is alive, who's, we know Zay Green from the end of last episode. This is not good, because this can expose everything in terms of what they do. So all that happens, Drew gets arrested, and now they leave out because they need to shift all focus to the Zay Green dude. We have the meet now with Wally Adams. I'll just quickly throw it to you here. What did you make of everything happening here? The negotiations ultimately leading to Zion and his drive-by.
Well, we had to see a consequence for what happened in the first part of I wanted to say last season, but first half of the season, especially you beat him up in front of everybody. What did you think was going to happen here? He knew Noma was the boss. He's clearly going to eventually come after. So I thought that was a nice way to show the conflict that's going to arise between Noma and Kane.
Yeah.
Because he put that danger at her doorstep. As it pertains to the actual meeting, Kane always manages to show why he shouldn't be places. As he's attempting to bribe the gentleman, and he proceeds to just pull it out across the table with a huge bag of money.
Okay.
I said across the table.
Nah, you said he proceeds to pull it. Whoa, Ernie.
Wow. You got me inside. As he proceeds to take the money across the table instead of doing exactly what Noma did. And the point that Noma had to stop him shows like this is not for you. This is not part of what works for you here, because you don't understand that all of that shouldn't be out in the open for everybody to see. But again, it's the danger that he put Noma in because of what happened last season. Kane thought it would just be over with after doing that. and not understanding that if Zay has an ego, it couldn't be over with.
Yeah. So yeah, Wally Adams is killed here. He's killed, and I'm gonna tell you something that's so funny. Wally Adams being killed here literally has almost no significance in everything because it just seems like something that might have had some potential. Well, I mean, there's small ramifications here, but this is still a character that was name dropped that did appear in 2 episodes and he being killed, and they definitely didn't draw like a big like that's a thing. So besides Carter letting Zion know he's an idiot for doing such, and this is not a part of their deal, and this is innocent blood. That's the thing. Innocent blood. I thought that was an interesting attribute attached to him because because I was like, oh, I thought like he may be into some corruption. You know,
he's meeting with drug dealers who are paying him off.
Yeah,
innocent ain't what I'm thinking when I think of a person like that.
Yeah, I was definitely it was interesting, but he said he's innocent, so he's innocent. So who knows? But yeah, nonetheless, Drew in jail, already in orange. Nico comes and says, "Finish him. Finish Zay Flowers
so fast,
fast."
It threw me off.
Yep. He got 24 hours to do so, and it gives him the burner to communicate afterwards. What did you think about this? Because this is one of those things that people saw in the trailers, and it's like, oh, Drew's in jail, and I see so many different narratives around it, but we see he's just in here to do a job. So this it's a temporary little thing.
Which makes no sense that I booked you and it's temporary, but okay.
Yeah. You know what I thought was interesting? So y'all got connections with cops in there because clearly you just paid this fake inmate a visit and you also left and you very much gave him a burner for everybody. So why didn't you just get one of your dirty cops to just do it?
Because it'd be too much like right. Too much like that. It makes no sense to put a criminal in jail, to get him to murder somebody for you. But like, no, why would he want to do that? And you know, maybe in jail fingerprints aren't a thing. I assume they still are. So it's kind of difficult here to cover someone's mouth to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's nothing else to talk about there. Let's talk about the Noma and Kane scene. Besides Noma throwing the actually the glass right in your hand, she threw it right at him. What did you make of this? Because I think you touched on it a little bit earlier about like Kane being responsible for this retaliation from Zion, but Noma is making it very clear that it's his fault, not being all lovey-dovey with him. The business seems to come first, and although he rebuttals with the idea that he saved her, she does not care because this could be problematic in the long run from her, especially not being able to secure the deal.
That was the most important part.
Yeah. So yeah, what did you think about this? And also talk about Effie joining this scene as well.
Well, first to say, just her losing that connect is highly important to her plans. So now you got to wonder how she's going to replace that connect and with whom. Like that's going to be an interesting part moving forward. Just when Effie pops up, it just still shows just how much Kane cares for her.
Yeah.
Like all his attention went to Effie.
Yeah.
And Noma noticed it. Like it's a flaw of his that you can be sleeping with your boss and still want the woman who you were sleeping with. But then if you did want her, you wouldn't cheat in the first place. It's just so much going on there in that triangle that it's good for them to show it, because you may have forgotten that it was kind of a triangle between Kane, Noma, and Effie if you didn't see this episode. So I think that was a good setup. And even down to Noma understanding that maybe I need to go to the Russians because they moving work and they moving it fast. Maybe I need to go to them to try to get myself out of this hole. Because we remember just how hard she fought the first half of the season and finding the connect that she can use for her legitimate side of business. And now that he's gone that fast, she's clearly going to blame Kane for it because he's the closest person to her.
Yeah. Effie, man, not a good episode for Effie, man. I think Effie took a slight little flight to Salt Lake City, and she might be a permanent resident there for a while, because that look at Kane and Noma knowing exactly how to intervene with that is definitely an L for Effie here. One of the few to come.
My girl was sitting up in the room crying.
Yeah,
after almost dying. Like she was going through it this episode.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, she took 2 L's with her boys. Not a good look for her. All right, so next scene we get back at the police station. We get Carter and the overzealous Felicia as they communicate with Zion about what Zion did, and he's not happy, as I mentioned, and Zion does not care. What did you think of the three of them? The conversation they had, and also just Carter's reaction, because you know the one thing about Michael Ealy is he plays psychopath better than almost anybody else out there, which means at no time do you quite understand what this character is actually ever thinking in his mind. What was that movie you really liked about 2 years ago with the purple? It was purple and black. You know exactly what I'm talking. Michael Ealy movie.
I ain't never liked Michael Ealy. Oh,
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Nah, Michael Ealy, and he had a movie that I liked.
Yeah,
was he the star in it?
Fatale.
I mean, that damn sure wasn't me. That's a joke with him and Hilary Swank, ain't it? Yeah, nah. Look, I thought your ass was going to say like For Color Girls or something, Joe.
No. What did you think of all of this though? And again, I think Carter's reaction is definitely kind of like, what is he about to do? But we know later. But at this point now, it's very unpredictable.
It shows just how many moving pieces that he has on the board.
Yeah,
because to have a big dealer like this under your thumb while you're trying to get more big theaters under your thumb really shows you just how powerful he is so far and what he thinks, or how he thinks he could be even more powerful.
Yeah,
because that was not a connection that I saw 100% coming into fruition, especially at the first episode back of that being Carter over the phone with him. Like, man, I told you, no innocent, because that literally means you tell him you kill as many drug dealers as you want.
Yeah,
just don't kill no one else.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting switch to see. Again, this is Carter playing a cop that you don't see on Power. You see him other places, but Power is not the place you see a cop that's becoming this crooked.
Yeah. Big old facts there. But we also know that Detective Felicia is now tasked to go make sure that Zion doesn't become an additional or further issue.
Now, he said, take him off the board. That's what my guy say in my favorite reference at all. I want him dead. I want his family dead. And if you don't kill him, I kill you.
Yeah.
Carter, straight screwface her, Joe.
Yeah. And
again, and she's scared of him. That's another revelation in this episode that is amazing, because I wonder how many of those cops are just scared of him.
Yeah. And there's also like issues with IAB being there and worrying about like who's getting too close to what they do. I should have mentioned earlier too, they talked about when it was in the Tejada house, how people were dependent on this money. And I was just wondering, to what degree and connection do they mean by that? Who do they got to pay off? And, I think we see the web of connections. So maybe there's just so many folks that have to stay, on their payroll in the time being. And if there happens to be an issue with the funds coming in, how does that affect them being able to operate and have the access that they need to do what they got to do? So, but Carter says, can't let this come back on us. Go take care of him. So next we see Monet going to visit her son. And in terms of going to see her son, Kane, Lets them know like being too close to Noma is not a good look. People are after her, but Kane doesn't want to hear it. This is always going to be an interesting dynamic between the two of them because Kane was always Monet's top soldier. He was good at it, but he always wanted to be more. And now that he wanted to be more, he gets that from his new mommy in Noma. What did you make of the two of them and her trying to like break through to her son, and he's just not having it?
Do you think that she was warning Kane because she cared about Kane, or to get information out of Kane?
It's always you know Monet by now. Is there anything that doesn't have anything to personally do with her? Yeah,
and that's all it really revealed to you, to let you understand just how this hierarchy works here.
Yeah,
he had no answer for it.
Nah, not one bit. Not one bit. Moving on to the next scene. Is there anything else to add there? No? Same old. Yeah, cool.
Because all of that blends into what happens later on in the episode when you're like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tariq, because he's expecting a baby soon, right? So he decides to spend his extracurriculum time in Stanford in that twin bed, I might add.
Busting up somebody else. My man ain't gonna be. He about to have his own set of twins. He about to have some ghetto twins.
Yeah.
Because you got one pregnant and you just with another one, like no issue. Again, in a twin-size bed, dog. Is it real people out there over the age of 20 really doing things in a twin-size bed?
Yes, definitely.
Oh my God.
Yes. But you know what though? College, they probably all got king-size beds now. Shit didn't change so much. There was this one dorm. There was this one dorm when I was on the yard that had bunk beds. So
nah, I ain't in prison. You do not put me in a bunk bed under no circumstance, Joe. I am not in prison.
Let me tell you something right now. You know damn well a girl was fucking with you if you brought her to your room and she got on your bunk bed. Now, granted, I didn't have a bunk bed, so this story doesn't refer anything to me.
It applies to me.
I gotta tell you that just know there's nothing crazier than you go over to your boy's room and you see him booed up with a girl in the bunk bed. And you just like, damn, the bunk bed, the twin bunk bed.
Twin bunk bed. Nah, you know what's worse? You know, it takes the cake even more. Getting a girl to do things on the top bunk.
But that's I forgot there was even a bottom one. I was only thinking about the top bunk in this story.
That means she got to go up the little ladder just to get to the top bunk.
Hey,
you know how much love she got to be in to climb that little reckless ass ladder to get to that top bunk, and to chill with you on the top bunk.
Dog. Just dedication there. All right, so now we get Anya and Tariq talking, opening up about their past. Tariq is this is a little interesting thing because it's like a part of him is, I feel like a part of him is somewhat invested into her, but he knows he has to kind of keep it as a liability for Noma. But I feel like he may slip on the wrong side of this. He may get too close to too close to her and actually may begin to start liking her, because it's Tariq, by the way. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So what do you think about the future of Anya and Tariq? You know, was he going to be able to keep it or what?
He'll be able to keep it until she's not useful to him anymore. I think right now we're seeing the evolution of Tariq and him understanding just how useful her presence is to him right now.
Yeah.
And once that goes away, why would I need to be with you? Like, Tariq clearly has other women. What would make you so special?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that she's not a pretty girl. I'm not saying any of that in that nature. I'm talking about from Tariq's perspective.
Yeah.
What would make you special?
Yeah.
That I wouldn't do to you that I've done to any other woman that I've been with.
I mean, also too. I mean, we got to remember at the end of the day, he's a drug dealer, and I feel like that the very consistent thing about the drug dealers in this show is that they use people to get what they need. End of the day, so Monet uses her kids at times. Noma's using Kane currently. I mean, it's just the thing. I mean, Tariq even used Effie at a point, so and Lauren at a point. So, why would Anya be any different? I do not feel like he will be totally compromised by her, but I definitely think there's moments where we're going to see that come into question if he ends up falling for her a little bit and loses sight of what his ultimate goal.
A dangerous situation. And not one from someone on the outside, but somebody on the inside.
Yeah.
How much of his life is he willing to risk to save her? Or is he gonna be like, you won a 4? Like it's all right. Because he also gives across the mood of, I'll do what I have to do, because if I get it ingrained in her head that we're together, maybe I can use her in the back end for something else.
Yep. All right. Well, next thing we see Miss Felicia getting a call because she is being directed to come in right now for some questionings, even to the point that she asks if she needs a rep. And Dave's like, yeah, if you need. But she's obviously panicking. And if there's one thing to do when in doubt, go hit a bump. So because why would you do this knowing that you're being brought in for some type of questioning? You could possibly be drug tested, I would imagine.
I'm 100% sure you would be drug tested, but you wouldn't. Like, my stress reliever is a bump of cocaine. I just need a little bump. Threw me off.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that from, but it makes sense. Her sporadic personality, her overzealous tactics. This is right on par for her. But yeah, she can no longer go take out Zion. So she has to push this responsibilities off to someone else. Now, this is interesting because as she goes to Tejada's house looking for Monet, she comes in and says, no Monet, who's the next best thing? And it's Diana. And like the two of them have a wow arc this episode.
How you go from being someone's CI to them beating you and leaving you by trash bags? Like, that is insane here.
It really is. I think they're gonna have to play up the drug use a little bit more. We obviously can see that's the nature of her behavior, but we need to see it play up a little bit more. I think I want to see her like Jannard played up. I want to see her like wilding, but yeah, she goes to Diana because she needs to get this done. She's also doesn't want nothing to do with Zion in the first place, but more or less she doesn't want to deal with Carter, so she tells Diana and forces her, flexes her muscle to say, get this done for me, you better. So what did you think about her threat? And what do you think about seeing her in this measure of like desperation? But also, I got to really quickly say, Diana had some good one-liners in this episode. So the fact that she told him to go kill somebody, and she says, "What do I look like, Colombiana?" That there's no one that had no
remembers Colombiana. Out of all the movies, who remembers Colombiana?
If it wasn't for my love for Zoe Saldana, I would not have even known what the hell she was talking about. I was like, what is she talking about? But
hey,
here we are. We are.
When they say Zoe could do no wrong, but I saw her try to play Nina Simone. But it's that desperation here is what's important, because it's the desperation of fear.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for her to be this desperate to solve all this, get it all squared away, if it didn't involve the fear of others.
Yeah.
And that's her problem here. And that others just happen to be Carter. I think she is terrified of him. Of what he can do. And I think this is the first chink that we get to see that maybe that is what his thing is that they're all there for him because he made you come there.
Yeah. Carter is a And he has everybody shaking in their boots, except for Monet. Monet is not scared of him, but he still has control of him. But right now, Felicia and Nico are definitely they know Carter's the top dog, and whatever he got on them is interesting because I don't think they're just fearful of the exposure because I was obviously exposed him, and they probably not fearful of death because they probably got an equal opportunity to take him out as well too. I mean, shooting another cop when you're a dirty cop and being able to pin it all on that dirty cop, I think is very easy. I mean, storytelling we see all the time, but I think with that being such a normalized storyline at times that like we have to understand that like that's an option on the table at any given point. So what does he have over her that makes her completely fearful for her to be from under his thumb?
And I wonder, is it not just her? What does he have possibly under other members of this task force?
That's true.
They got them to fall in line.
Yeah. What the fuck is with them giving everybody these old Nextels? No, I peeped that with these burner phones. Oh, these Boost Mobiles. These Boost Mobiles.
Don't disrespect Boost Mobiles. Those are commercial. It's called American Cellular something. When they talk about they can ship anywhere in the world. That's what that joke was. That's what that joke was. I was about to say Metro PCS, but nah.
These are
it's clear. You remember the clear phone?
Yeah. Clear. These the Obama phones. What you mean?
That's what I was about to say. He giving out those good Obama phones, Joe, with government numbers on there.
Really quickly, I thought there was definitely a plot gap in this episode, and the fact that Felicia was able to find Diana later on this episode, and she's like, "How did you find me?" And she said, "The burner." I was like, "Oh, burners could be traced," because I thought that's the reason why they were burners.
Well, I don't know these 2024 burners now. I mean, at this point in your life, why are you using a burner phone?
Yeah.
And, you know, and what they say in the Apple commercials all the time, it's an app for that.
Yeah,
it's an app for that. I have it. Trust me, it's easy to use.
Yeah,
and you can burn a number right after you use it. Never have to worry about it.
So next we get Diana going to Stanford to go see her baby daddy, and it's Tariq, where she says, "I need help," and of course, he thinks. What was the first thing? Did she think? First of all, I think that what's important here is understanding that this baby is bringing them together. Because although they're having a baby, I don't think it's been evidently clear that they're on the same page. But she needs his help, and she's letting him know about needing to get Zion off the table.
But not telling him why.
But not really telling him why. And Tariq is saying he wants all the full honesty with everything. And I think Diana realizing that she's going to have to be more transparent with this going forward. But here's one of my favorite scenes this episode is Effie coming in, trying to size my man Tariq up, but baby mommy not having that. Diana ears must have been burning because she had the time. Although she just stormed off like she didn't, she came back and had the time. All I'm gonna say is Effie is a hater here. We've never seen Effie in this light.
How's Effie a hater? By telling the truth? All she did was tell the truth.
Yeah, what did you think of this entire scene? Say what you want, she a hater, but whatever.
I loved Effie in this scene. Such an amazing speech. Like, Diana, maybe you should think about an abortion. Because you two as parents, like we've all thought it, like maybe they ain't the best set to be raising kids. Technically, we think about it from a realistic perspective. These are two drug dealers attempting to have a child together. Of course they shouldn't have it. But from Effie's perspective, it is partial jealousy, but it's an honest conversation here. And she's still hurt also.
Yeah. Because
of the way Tariq did her.
Yeah.
So I love this one-on-one scene. I love when she had to go to him to ask for help. Because Diana's not accustomed to doing that. She's not accustomed to asking for help at all.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a really, really good point. But I think again, because what I do love about Diana is throughout Effie's BS and throughout all of this, she wants to make sure that the focus stays on is that the family needs help.
The baby. Yes.
The family needs help. Which to me, while like it seems like just Diana's plea for help, understanding that's Tariq's soft spot is family. Tariq is, in case you didn't know it or not, but Tariq last name is not St. Patrick actually, but it's actually Toretto, because if there's one thing Tariq cares about, it's family. So
wait. I ain't letting you get that line off. Not with Tariq. You can't care about family and kill your daddy. Family ain't what he care about.
Well,
he cares about family. Except
but anyway, with that information about
and Raina, because he got Raina murdered too. We ain't never gonna forget that.
He 1,000% did. Whoever his twin sister is that nobody cares about. But immediately after that, Tariq goes and see if there's one thing about Davis McClain, he's about $1, but he says he needs him to set up that meeting with Zion. That way he can set him up and get him off the board. I don't think there's much to talk about there. We see Kane. Kane gets approached by the brother of what's his name from that's in jail. Zay. Yeah. So So he sees his brother. He tries to pull the gun on Kane. He blames the Tejada families for it. And he is asking all the right questions, but at the end of the day, Kane isn't aware of any of this because Kane wasn't there. But he did get the notion that, Monet was looking for soldiers, which definitely tells you that there's obviously trouble in paradise.
Something coming.
Yeah. So nothing to really make there. Next, we go to Carter and Monet meeting and trying to figure out what they're going to do next. First of all,
it's still go ahead.
Go for it. Yeah,
the infamous diner that we have not seen, and God knows, didn't Monet sell this place? Is this the same diner? I swore she sold the diner.
I don't know. I don't think she sold it, but this is definitely the same place. But I mean, this diner brings in is just as much business as T's diner and on BMF.
Can't say that. T had customers. We ain't never seen a customer in the diner for Monet. She never had a customer in here, Joe. T was serving up. T had ribs, macaroni and cheese. Like, he actually put work into making you think. Monet like, dog, we ain't even gonna front. Yeah. This is a drug front. This is the Bass liquor store, the carry out part of Bass liquor store where they was running hoes out of that never sold carry out food. Like that's what Monet's is right there.
Yeah.
And they missing the opportunity to open up Monet's. That's a hell of a name for a club.
But I mean, I don't think there's much to make here unless it's something I'm forgetting. But like Monet gives a name because he wants to ensure that Drew gets home and the protection of Drew and Diana. And if that suffices for Carter and that does enough, and after Drew does he has to do, then I guess negotiations are fine. But
it was a name that Carter received that made it worth it to him.
Yeah.
To find out that the connect was the Russians, and he brings up, wait a minute, I already hit them for the stash. Where did they get another connect from? That's when his wheels started turning.
Yeah.
Because now, if you stole this from them, and I hit them for a stash before, and already before you stole their drugs, that means they're getting this from someone else.
Yeah.
So now I need to find out from them, who are they working for to get this from?
Yep. Drew in jail. He chooses not to get to Jello. Good for him because Jello is trash. And this, I mean, honestly, there's not much to make here either. But Drew, who is spotted in jail, quickly everybody knows he's Tejada. I think that should be noted. I also thought that everybody knowing that he's a Tejada may garner some measure of respect in there, but we don't actually see that. So
everybody know he's a Tejada, and everybody know the other thing. Because my man said, "You want my burger? Nobody can get your gay ass burger." I said, how does everybody know already? But then my man say, nah, I got my eyes on another dude in there. I was like, oh man, jail crazy, Joe. It's wild. It's a wild jail, Joe.
But yeah, he breaks out into a fight because the fight got him put to medical instead of in solitary.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's why he got his ass whooped, because Drew possibly could have beat the hell out of dude with no issue.
1,000%.
He
I just
needed
thought
to sustain
I
those
just thought people got put in the solitary when they could.
No. You got to go to infirmary first. They got to treat you first.
Yeah,
because they don't want no lawsuit, so they're gonna treat you first, and then you go into solitary confinement. But here, it looked like Drew lost. Like the loser tends to get treatment faster than the winner does.
Yeah. So yeah, he goes there and he nothing to make here. He goes and kills Zay, gets the job done, gets back to his bed, mission complete. And we'll talk about the part after that in a minute. I'll go back to the police station. They're looking over blueprints because it's time for them to raid the Russian spot. What should be interesting and what should be noticed here is that Kamal Tate is also there. So he's not on the payroll. But it doesn't mean he couldn't be, because that's essentially the type of relationship that Carter builds with everybody else in the first place. So there's that. But anyway, the raid happens. Effie's there. Effie is in danger, but at the same time, too, there's some other major things happening there. And in the Russian establishment, we see that Effie is almost killed, but Kamal sees that Nico is dirty. He kills a cop. He takes the wait, did he kill the cop? Or either way, he killed the Russian. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Russian that shot the one cop in the back, that took the product from Effie, that goes and gets killed by Nico. And he takes the product, stuffs the product. We see the full-blown his tactics of just how dirty he is. All of that to get outside of this. Call Drew. Drew calls him. They'll know that the mission's done. And then so what did you make?
This is right after he called to make the deal done. This is when he put the other plan in place.
Right.
Yeah.
Really quickly before that, though, what did you make of Kamal observing everything that was happening? What did you think of what was to come from that?
Kamal has always been a straight shooter, even when it pertained to his own brother.
Yeah.
So I knew this is what. I'm surprised he didn't put two and two together to automatically know Carter was involved in it. So that caught me by surprise a little bit. But him going to who he thinks is the higher authority to say something fits perfectly with the cop that he was. Because he was always blunt and honest about everything.
Yeah. All right. So you talk about the other plan being put into place. So talk about it. The Drew and the and Nico.
The plan.
Yeah.
Because you got to go back from when Drew first sat down, because dude was wildly talking about it. Again, that's what made this prison so weird. Because who the heck talks about snitching?
Way too coincidental. Yeah, I thought I was tripping. The fact that I was like, are they how is Carter name just coincidentally just being thrown out there all of a sudden? So yeah, I mean,
go ahead. For him to be that vocal about it and that open about it, it makes sense that means all of them know who Carter is and they know the way Carter operates. So while you may help them kill in one, how does that help out? It's multiple people that know who this dude is. But Drew did the smart thing, is to leverage that information.
Yeah.
Granted, he told the wrong person.
Yeah.
No one goes to Robin and asks Batman to stop doing things. So why not go to your sidekick about it? He was supposed to call Carter with that and be like, hey, yes, I'm getting out of here, but I can do another favor, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was interesting too that, like, I think we should have saw Carter and them exploring other folks trying to take Zay out, and that not working, which is why they ultimately needed Drew to do so. But once them displaying like this dude is a rat and he's about to go expose all y'all stuff. So listen, I'll take him out, but I need to make sure my family's good and whatnot. But yeah, Nico got a lot of power in there, besides the power to not send somebody in jail to kill somebody in there. Okay, I don't know.
Hey, none of that plan made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You took a civilian from the outside world, placed him in jail for him to kill someone in jail.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah. Got that orange jumpsuit real quick.
Yeah.
Drew was processed within 40 minutes.
Yeah.
They got him in quick. But again, it also shows the level of desperation that they're under. Like, this had to be done. And their thinking, I'm assuming, is that because the family owes them money, which includes Drew, you'll do whatever you have to do to get from under what you owe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a very interesting way to start this episode off, to show that these cops are, one, crooked, two, don't fully think out the plans when they're being crooked, and three, everyone knows that they're crooked.
Yep. All right, coming up on our few last scenes here, we get Kane and Monet talking once again, trying to figure out Kane trying to figure out Monet's leverage, but also laying out on the table all he knows about her not having the soldiers, and then also, you know, there may be, he feel like a measure of maybe jealousy. He talks about how she's been kind of going gunning for Noma the entire time. But it's the two of them in a relationship on display once again. Like, they're always going to have this interesting mother-son relationship where you can call it whatever you want. She tries to protect him. He's just trying to continue to show his worth and acceptance for her. What did you make of the two of them? Was there anything else to add to that?
Not at all. I think you put it perfectly. All it is we make jokes, and we've constantly made jokes that Kane is looking for a new mommy.
Yeah.
But it's the same way he went out his way to impress Monet.
Yeah.
Like, same exact way. Is no different with Kane. And you see the jealousy comes out. You mentioned Tariq, he gets jealous. You mentioned Davis, he gets jealous because he feels his spot can be taken from him.
Yeah.
And he's going to do whatever he has to do to get on her good side. But again, how much longer that's going to last? Noma doesn't have a good side. She has a good side up until you do one thing she don't like.
Yeah.
And then she's going to kill you and not think about it. It's a lot of people in this season of Power who do not think of the consequences of their actions before. Because Noma did think about it when she killed Obi at the beginning of the season. What that would do. She didn't think no better when she brought Kane in that meeting. Because why would you do that?
Yeah.
She let Kane take her to a fight club. A fight club.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, the two of them just establishing the things they're hearing about the streets about one another, and just kind of filling each other out. We do get to meet again under the bridge now with Kane, Noma, Davis, and Tariq, and this is just Tariq laying out his plan to take out Zion. It's a lot of the same between the dynamics between the two of them, but you know, it's just Tariq trying to get in a better position with Noma so that they can work out a better deal. They're at the nightclub now here. This is interesting. We see Brayden.
We talked about it before.
Yeah. We see Tariq looking for Brayden. Brayden is unked out. Elle and Brashandria on stage doing what they do. I don't think they brought back Young Blue this season or the second part of the season, but we'll see. But
I don't know what's wrong with this group. Even at this, they making me miss City High. They need to bring in Lee Daniels. Whoever was writing them jokes for Empire, like them songs. This group need new songwriters, Joe. They need to hit that drip drop. Can't tell me that joint would go.
Hey, Lee Daniels up right now. You don't mess with Lee Daniels. All right, he winning right now.
Hey, he made a movie with the best line in movie history.
Is it really?
Hey, that's all you got to do. Everybody know. Everybody know. The moment you start sniffing in the air, people I know you're gonna say,
anyway, Just to talk about Brayden. Brayden's onked out. Everybody see it. He's being annoying. And Brayden and Tariq instantly sees it, and he tries to get his man corrected because he has to let him know that they got to go take care of Zion tonight. And Brayden Anya tries to approach Tariq. He brushes her off. I think this is interesting because she's used to having her way, but she ain't taking this rejection thing good at all. So we're definitely going to see some tug of war between the two of them. But at the end of the day, Brayden is texting Zion because they're looking for a re-up. And because I forgot to mention that they moved Zion to a safe house because of everything that he's done.
But safe house Carter told him to go to.
Yep. So Brayden and Tariq goes to set him up, and ultimately he gets killed. I thought really quickly that there was some good fight. There was a good sequence. There was some good choreography here. People getting thrown through doors and whatnot. A little bit more than we typically see them dealing with. But before, right before Zion's dead, he decides to ensure that he calls him. He says he calls him Ghost. You know, obviously letting him know that he sees resemblance of his dad in him. Tariq obviously didn't like that, whatever his response was.
Never.
But there is that.
As much as he gets like his father, he just absolutely hates the comparison.
Yeah. Is there anything else to make of that?
No, because it's all it to me. Besides, we brought up earlier this season, we were wondering how her drugs would affect Brayden, and now we get to see it.
Yeah,
because once my man took that bump, he lost everything.
All right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now I said once he took the drugs, he lost everything. Like that was that never get high on your own supply is gonna ring true for Brayden because he did it for a girl, not because he likes drugs. He did it because the girl was doing it, and now he's hooked, and he thinks that's a way to party. It shows a level of irresponsibility to be my partner if you don't understand this is something you should never do.
Yeah. All right. So now that this has happened, Kane go back to Noma, let Noma knows what happened, but also Noma is updating him about what happened with the Russians. We get my man Kane, who is curious about Effie's fate. Noma is seeing right through it. But they'll say that she barely makes it out okay, but it is what it is. But obviously we can see that wasn't going to suffice for Kane. He was going to have to go pay her a visit. Felicia is back at the police station. She says she handles it. Nico's is questioning now. I mean, I think there's a measure of urgency amongst everybody in there, a little bit of tensions and whatnot. But her having a camera into the stash house, seeing Tariq killing Zion is not what she had asked to have happen. So she's going to go out there and get some answers for herself. Effie's in her dorm. Kane comes and sees her, and they're just filling each other out. Nothing major to make there. Felicia runs upon. I mean, this is the last scene of the episode. Yeah. So before I even talk about that, is there anything else to add to any of those other scenes?
No, because all of it is a setup to get to this scene. Yeah, it just shows the desperation of the task force at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
I said that's it. Just the desperation of the task force. That's all you get to see because that's what this is leading up to.
Yeah. So after that, now we get this. Well, for a short scene, we see Felicia meeting up with Diana here because she's frustrated that Tariq did it and not her. Again, this is her fear for Carter, but ensuring that, like, you know, how much does Tariq know? She doesn't want. They don't need any more eyes on this because that's what's going to be a problem for everybody else. But she's saying that because she's not being smart. She's saying that because she is fearful of Carter and Carter finding this out and how that's going to be deemed by him. But Carter meets with Kamal because Kamal has to let him know that Nico is dirty. And while we see for a moment that Carter,
so I'm gonna sit back and see if you're gonna bring up the biggest issue with this whole scene.
All right, let's see. So Kamal didn't want to have this conversation inside the joint because he obviously he figured the ears, but he also wanted to ensure, he just didn't want anybody else to be involved. He didn't want anybody ears or anything to find out. But what's interesting is that while Kamal is telling him all of that, I think there's a measure of how you wonder how Carter was going to respond, and Carter decides to offer him a proposition, saying, "Hey, be down. You want to be gang, blood." But Kamal, being the ethical guy he is, he wasn't gonna wasn't gonna go for that. And we ultimately see Carter killing him, very idiotically killing him here, because this was just completely unnecessary. If there's something that should be focused on here, what do you have, sir?
What car did Carter pull up to meet Kamal?
What car did Carter pull up to?
What car did Carter have when he pulled up to meet Kamal?
A police car, right?
He did not pull up in a police car. He pulled up in a fucking Rolls Royce. See, here's the thing about power. At one point in time, we're going to have that was not a police car. I kept on looking like, wait a minute. I know a police car when I see a police car.
Nah, it's definitely
that grill ain't a police car, man.
It has a crash bar on it.
I didn't even know. I saw the front bar of it, but that front grill of it was flat. That wasn't the front grill of a bar.
Yeah,
that looked like a Rolls Royce culling it.
Yeah, hell nah.
That goddamn well.
Yeah, nah. That joint a Charger. It's definitely a Charger. They both came in, and he came in a Ford Explorer.
No, he had that. Well, Kamal's always gonna have a Ford Explorer. That fits in.
Yeah, no.
Not even police cars no more.
Huh?
Chargers not police cars no more. We ain't in 2010.
Yeah, no, the grill definitely looks like a grill of something else, but it's a police. It's absolutely a Charger on that joint. So that would be hilarious though if you pulled.
Until I'm proven wrong, it's power. It's a Rolls Royce color, and then my man pulled up in. I saw that grill and said, "Dog, that ain't the grill of a cop car."
But he kills Jamal. He kills Kamal, and before he kills Kamal, he lets him know why he does what he does. And Kamal, given a proposition, it appears that he's going to think about it. Carter already knows what he was thinking, and if he was going to give him that space, what exactly he was going to do next. So he ends up killing him. And then last but not least, we see Tariq at the restaurant that he's supposed to meet Diana at. He doesn't see her. He calls her. He calls her because, as we know, before when Felicia met with Diana, they tossed a few words at each other, but then Felicia brutally beats her. Beats her to the point that she's bleeding from the mouth.
Diana slapped a police officer. And then the police officer defended herself.
Jeez, that's no.
Oh shit!
Hell no. But yeah, she leaves Diana by the trash to die, and it's sad because with these type of injuries, what could be the fate of Diana and her pregnancy? She's going through her first trimester, so we're going to see what happens next episode. But it's brutal. We've never seen Diana take an L like this. We've never seen a knowingly pregnant character be brutalized like this. Because Holly was pregnant as well too, and she got choked out, but we didn't know until after the fact. But Tariq sees it. Tariq yells out for help. We only can imagine the measure of desperation that descends Tariq after this, because as he mentioned, he was going to do anything for her and his baby, and this would warrant some revenge, if you ask me. So that's it for this episode.
Only thing I got to add to that is my man yelled out for help with a cell phone right next to him.
I'm just going to be honest about something. I've never been in a situation where I had to yell out for help or whatnot, but I'm just going to say, if I did, I don't think it would be done in the way that we typically see it on these shows, because
it's never done. I've seen people yell out for help.
Yeah,
you've been to enough go-go's. Afterwards, gunfire. You hear lots of people yell out for help. It's nothing like you get in television shows.
Yeah. They definitely very heightened the dramatics around the help. It's just like,
turn around, somebody help! Nah,
somebody call 911.
You
Please.
can't give somebody help at a go-go. They go. It's a song. If somebody help, they got guns. They gonna shoot. Like, look, no, nigga, I need help. But this is a good way to come back to the season. You introduce the characters again. You give us a tragic ending to hopefully engage you back into the season. You see Carter's empire crumbling extremely fast for one season. And then Monet, and how does she think she's going to get from under Carter? Like, there's literally no way out for her right now.
No, facts. Absolute facts. All right, well, that'll do it. Episode 406 is in the book. We're back next week for episode 7, as we always do with the recap review show. After the episode airs, jump over here, and the video will get to going. And if you're just watching somewhere down the line, we always appreciate you coming through, kicking it with us for a little bit over an hour. But in the meantime, get in the comments. Let us know your thoughts about this episode, the predictions you have for the upcoming season, the remaining episodes for the season, and then obviously check out our interview with Michael and Latoya, known as Diana and Tariq. So that being said, for Lucas and for myself, we'll see y'all back in another week for another recap review of Power Book 2 Ghost.
I